Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New York Lifestyle. We have me, Calvin Samuel, and co-host Weezy from the Rap 585 in the building. We're coming to you today to tell you about our NFL Week 14. We have three businesses for you, our business spotlight, as well as we have a special guest here that's going to be jumping on in a few minutes. Tell us a little bit about herself and the platform that she does with her YouTube channel. So we're going to jump right into our picks for week 14. But before we do, I'm going to give my co-host the opportunity to tell us how we did for week 13 since we had a couple of delays due to COVID.
I actually, due to my schedule, everybody, I did not get a chance to see how we did. I'll give you a double next week on our next week's show. I do apologize. I'm normally on it, but this time, don't shoot the messenger. I'll get y'all everybody what y'all be looking for.
We're going to give you some grace for this week. Week 14 picks, starting out with the Rams and the Patriots.
Oh, my turn? All right. Let me see. Thursday night football. Let's see. No, I ain't going golf. So I'm a dab on them. I'm going Cam Newton and Patriots. No, matter of fact, I lied. This just has me all over the place because both quarterbacks are like mediocre. But I'm gonna go with the better defense, which is the Rams. So I got the Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams as well for Thursday night game. I just feel like they're due one, even though Patriots have been a little bit hot lately. I don't think that they can continue with the trajectory that Cam is currently going. I mean, granted, he's 4-2 when he has 10 plus rushes, but you got Aaron Donald and Ramsey in the crew. I don't think they're gonna just make it that easy. It's not gonna be one of them 45-0 games like last week. So let's move on to our next game, which actually is a little more difficult than it seems like on paper because the Jags have been playing crazy great lately. Titans versus Jags.
I'm gonna just go with the hotter team, honestly. Like I'm going with Tennessee, even though we had to go big last week against Cleveland. Cleveland put a number on them. I think Ryan Tannehill and them boys will get it back
I agree. I'm gonna lock it up. Gonna go with Titans on this one. Our next game, Vikings Bucks.
Tom Brady.
Cousins, you like that? Because
Yeah.
Tom with a vengeance. Lock it up. Bucks. Them Chiefs versus the Dolphins. Another scary matchup because it doesn't seem like that easy on paper.
Yeah. 8-4 versus 11-1.
Mm-hmm. David versus Goliath.
Yeah. But I'm going with Team Light Skin. Patrick Mahomes and the boys.
Patty 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go a different route. Cause I like to spice it up. We're gonna go with Tua.
Okay. If he even is in the game.
Well, if he's not, then Fitzmagic can hold it down. Just ask Tom Brady about that last year in New England.
The fluke game when they barely came back to me. Okay, yeah. Okay.
I mean, Brian Flores is a heck of a coach. He was just starting to let y'all know that. That's all it was.
Shout out to Kenyon Drake though that year.
Exactly. We got the Broncos versus the Panthers.
I'm going with the Panthers. Christian McCaffrey is coming back.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
They put up a fight against Kansas City.
Yeah,
But
they've been hanging around lately. You know what I'm saying? I think they might be doing. I'm going with Broncos on that one.
okay.
Next one, we got Deshaun and the crew versus the Bears. And we're playing in Chicago, by the way.
Houston.
I'm going to go with the Bears. I just feel like they're due one. All right, we got the Cardinals versus the Giants.
Cardinals versus Giants. I need the Giants, so I'm going with Kyler Murray and them.
I get that. I respect it. However, that Giants defense has been balling. So that's the reason why I'm going with them G-men.
All right. So when they lose, say the G-men all emotional and pathetic like that. Okay?
I mean, I will. I'm still a Colts fan. We won last week, so I'm good.
Hey man, I'm gonna just keep it PG. I ain't because you know we got a lot of older people that watch this show, right?
Shout out to our audience. They'll love the crew. Got the Cowboys versus the Bengals. We're gonna keep it respectful, y'all. Please keep it respectful.
So, this is the Andy Dalton Bowl. Where we playing in Cincinnati?
Yeah, in Cincinnati.
Let me go with Andy Dalton and the Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals, only because I just feel like y'all last great hope was last night, and since that didn't work out as planned, y'all might be trying to tank for the rest of the season for a high pick. That's the only reason I'm gonna possibly go Bengals, and I'm gonna make that my final pick.
So I'm gonna just make a comical statement. The reason why we didn't want to tackle Lamar is because we didn't want to catch the corona.
The man cleared protocol. The person who didn't clear protocol, Mr. Bryant, he didn't get to throw no X's up last.
There's Bryant 2 hours before the game. Now it's saying you want to quit.
Yeah, them COVID tests are rapid, but they sometimes come at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Who you have in that matchup, B?
I'm gonna give your Colts another shot this week.
Lock it up. I'm gonna go with the Colts. Got the Jets versus the Seahawks.
Russell cannot have 4 bad games in a row. I'm going with Russell.
I might be crazy for this one.
I know he ain't about to pick the Jets. But
I mean, hey, I'm just gonna go cautious to the win. I'm just gonna go with the Jets, just because
the Seahawks are playing terrible, but the Jets are just terrible.
Oh, I know, but except for a cover 0 by Greg Williams, they actually was hanging with Las Vegas. The same Las Vegas Raiders that beat the Chiefs earlier this season.
And somebody like my girl, everybody that don't watch football know the Jets are trash.
No, I know that. Don't get me wrong, but have they been closer in games the past 2-3 weeks? Yes.
But did you not see that last play of the game?
Well, that's what I said. Even a JV coach knows you don't do cover 0.
That's what I'm saying.
But that boy gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you got a nice pension, Greg Williams, because you ain't getting another job.
Medicaid.
Yep. Packers versus Lions.
I'm going with the man and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Lock it up. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is going to have a day on them. Lions feasting. Falcons versus Chargers.
I'm going to go with the Falcons because they've been showing me something. Even though they're not gonna make playoffs, the last 3 weeks they've been playing good football.
Yeah, they got hard, cuz. They got hard.
They embarrassed the Raiders, almost beat the Saints, and then who was the week before? They beat some. They it was a close game. Basically,
Yeah.
the last 2 out of 3 weeks after they beat the Raiders have been close. And the Chargers, they all dysfunctional. So I'm going with the Falcons.
I don't think that Justin Herbert's going to have 2 terrible games in a row. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Okay, so go against the Super Bowl quarterback if you want to. Matt Ryan went to the Super Bowl.
You talking about that same Super Bowl quarterback that lost a 20-3 lead?
Hey.
That's your argument?
Hey.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. I ain't touch that. Steelers versus Bills. The formerly undefeated Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
3 games in 12 days. Lost to the Washington football team, in case y'all forgot.
Oh, yeah, it's still a nation. Hopefully y'all holding up, too. I know y'all one little argument is, oh, we needed this one loss. But take another loss this week.
Because nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. And
come up in the Buffalo if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they call it Bills Mafia. You about to find out.
It's going to be quiet up
here. Browns. We got the very, very tough Baltimore team and the extra gritty Browns team. Who you got?
For my Monday night, I'm going at the Baker's man, Mr. Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns.
I'm gonna also lock that in. I'm gonna go with the Browns on that one. So, as we're segueing into our next segment, real quickly, we want to make sure that we highlight our 3 businesses for this week. In no particular order, we have Miss Gemma Bailey. She has her Instagram handle at GEMKK_creations, CREATIONS. You can check her out there. She makes different materials as far as cloths for masks and things that you may need during the season. We have Miss Maya. She's a content creator. She has a podcast called Pretty, PRTTY _N_purposed, PURPOSED. She has a graphic design page as well as a YouTube page if you're looking for content creations as well as business cards, as well as knowing how to promote yourself online. She is a great asset and is doing great work with various companies in terms of being able to promote different businesses. And then last but not least, we have Stephanie Deshawn. She has a number of things that she's a part of. She's 1/4 of the members of the Uncelebs podcast, which is at Instagram on THEUNCELEBZ. She's doing food blogging for Instagram as well at XFOODISLOVEO. She does crochets for scarves and other things. So for winter season that's coming up, it's getting cold, so you definitely want to make sure you're stylish while staying warm. You can find her at DKNOTSCROCHET. And then for gamers, she can be found on Twitch TWITCH, and as known as Goddess, GODDESS, Blossom, BLOSSOM. We want to make sure that we go through each one real quick. As my co-host pulls that up.
I actually won't be able to. I apologize. Technical difficulty.
Okay, not a problem. Well, like I said, y'all, you have Maya, Stephanie, and Miss Gemma Bailey. Please make sure you go check them out. We're gonna also make sure that we provide their information at the end of this video when we post it on our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page and on our respective Instagram pages as well. So we're gonna be coming in with our guest in a few moments. So sit tight and we'll be ready to go. Hi, y'all. Thank you for time back within us. We have Miss Latoya Cottingham, fellow Lincoln alum. We are so happy to have her on our show today. I have a few questions to ask her, and then we'll go into our game of this, that, and why. So, Brandon, can you start us off with the first question?
Most certainly. So, Miss Latoya, nice to see you again. After
you
what?
As well.
Like 4 or 5 years?
I know, it's been so long, maybe even longer, honestly.
Yeah. So how has your work in the community shaped you into forming your platform for Mommy Time with Toy?
Okay, so first of all, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It's been a long time, but I'm excited that we're here. And I'm proud of you both on this podcast. So I guess my work in the community, I think aside from my own private community service, also my job as an attorney, sometimes I have clients that are moms. They come in and you could see that they're clearly lacking resources. One, they're lacking support. And then 2, they're lacking, financial resources. And then 3, they're just kind of just lost. They don't really know what to do, where to go. They don't have the necessary things that they need for their kids. And then a part of it too, they just don't know what to do, So there are times where I jump in and I'm like, here, give me the baby. And I'm like, they're like, oh, wow, he got quiet really fast. Or, oh, she went to sleep really fast. So it's like, sometimes they just get so flustered and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. And I think from me seeing that, I think that's definitely helped motivate me to know, 1, what kind of content I should put out. And then 2, my delivery, because you never want to offend someone and make it seem like you don't know what you're doing with your child. So let me see, you don't want to offend anyone. So you want them to be receptive of that. So I think being able to, witness it and then, see what they need. And then also being able to work on my delivery. I think that that's definitely helped me and my Mommy Time with Toy channel.
All right. And before we go on, everybody, to Calvin's question, we are all proud alumni of Lincoln University, everybody.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the first Black college.
The first. I tell my sisters that all the time. Because they also went to HBCUs, but it wasn't the first.
Well, we know each other, but for members of our audience who might not know you, who may have not seen you before, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself so people can gain some insight onto who you are and the work that you do?
Sure thing. Okay, so I'm Latoya Cottingham. I go by Toya. Everybody calls me Toya or Toy. I am a proud Lincoln alum we graduated 2013. Oh my gosh. We are old. So from Lincoln University, I went on and graduated from Penn State Law. From there, I began working as a law clerk. I clerked for a criminal judge who I absolutely love and adore, and I have so much respect for him. And then from my clerkship, I went straight into my position that I have now, which is working for the New Jersey Office of the Public Defender. I love it there. I was working originally in Hudson County, and then I transferred to Passaic County just because it was closer to home. And I love both offices, honestly. I love working for the PD's office. And now recently, I began my YouTube channel, MommyTimeWithToy. I began that, I think it was in February or March of this year, 2020. And it was toward the end of my pregnancy. And I gave birth to my baby girl, Layla, on Easter Sunday. And I've just been enjoying motherhood ever since. I did go back to work the end of September. And so I thought that that would be a little more challenging than it's actually been. And I think that's because we're working from home because of COVID. So I got lucky. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you for sharing that.
Shout out to that resurrection, baby.
Yeah. Truly give a lot.
And that ties into the next question.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just point out a few things that are like your favorite part of being a mom.
Okay. So my favorite part of being a mom, it's so hard to choose, honestly. Because you got the pictures and you have the dressing up, but honestly I think my favorite are the special moments, like the first, like seeing her crawl for the first time, seeing her trying to stand, just seeing her smiling and just looking into my eyes, her saying her first words, which was mama. Well, actually it was mom. It was like mom, and I'm like, is she saying what I think she's saying? And then she's like looking at me and I'm like, oh yeah, she's saying it.
Like, that's you.
Yeah. So I think it's just those special moments. It's just me and her, and we're just, I don't know, just bonding, and it's just the best. It's just the best.
Awesome. That leads us into our next thing, because we do know that you're an attorney. We know that you're a great mom. We know that you have the platform MommyTimeWithToy. Can you just speak to the importance of time management and juggling responsibilities of being an attorney, a mom, and doing your vlogs?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so originally, before I became a mom, I feel like my time management was like impeccable. And so I was like, all right, nothing much is going to change. I'll just make sure I stick to the schedule and no. And then I guess throwing in now my YouTube channel, it's like madness sometimes. But I think because I have like my family here, I have so much support. It makes things a lot easier. Because I am a single mom, but I'm not a single mom that's like alone, because I have my, my family, my sisters, my mom, my aunt that's always here. They help me out a lot. But what I try to do is during the day, I'm really either Layla or work. YouTube, I more so try to do at night, or if she's asleep during the day, then I'm like, okay, let me try to edit this video real quick, or let me try to record this while she's napping, or let me grab the monitor and go into the next room so I can, do what I need to do, and just, also keep an eye on her. So it's definitely more difficult than I anticipated, but I did, because I was trying very hard to stick to a schedule. She pretty much has the same schedule she's had since she was born. So the sleep schedule is pretty much the same. She was sleeping through the night since she was about 2 months. And so, the only time she would wake up is if she needed to eat, and she goes right back to sleep. And so I was pretty strict with that, making sure she knew that nighttime was not playtime, because that helps me now to get a lot done for my channel. And so, you post something, first of all, you have to record. After you record, you have to edit. After you edit, you have to upload. After you upload, you have to, obviously promote. And in the midst of all that, you're responding back to comments and, people who posted your thing. You want to acknowledge them and thank them. And you also you have to network. So it's not just a matter of me, posting my stuff. I also have to check out other people's stuff as well. I have to, promote on Instagram, check out other people's Instagram pages. People were suggesting for me to do Facebook and Twitter as well. And I'm like, right now, absolutely not, because it's just way too much, way too much going on. So I'm handling everything, but I'm like hanging on by a thread.
You better get that glass of wine.
your praiseworthy. Um,
Thank you.
for showing your humane side, but
Yeah.
for not looking at what you're doing, and you're doing it flawlessly and at an optimal level. So, you know.
Aw, thank you.
What are some helpful tips that you might have for first-time moms? I know you have a lot of information on your page, but just a couple things.
Yes. Okay. So for first-time moms, the first things first, research. I researched everything, like, because honestly, my sister had my nephew like a year. She had him in 2018. So by the time I got pregnant, he was like 1. And so I'm like, oh, I already know everything. And then I'm like, wait a second. As I'm like delving deeper into, the pregnancy and motherhood, I'm like, actually, I don't really know that much. Like, you think you know stuff, just from watching other people on the surface, only the surface stuff. You don't know like the real ins and outs. And, some of my coworkers would mention certain things and I'm like, what's that? And so I had to take a step back and say, listen, I need to actually research a lot of this. And then too, I think from, pregnancy and even, motherhood, especially early on, people don't like to talk about the difficult things or the hard things. They want to remember the good stuff. They want to remember the good parts of pregnancy. They want to remember the good parts of, giving birth and bringing your baby home. But, in remembering the good stuff, you forget the, not so good stuff. And then you don't pass that information on to, other moms. And so they don't know. And so it's kind of like, you're blindsided by all this craziness that you didn't know existed. So I would say, do your research, make sure you talk to your doctors, make sure you ask about every step of the way. Like, don't assume anything. Don't think you know everything. Ask, what should I be expecting? So what should I be doing? What's, upcoming? If you can, download like one of the baby apps. I downloaded one of those and that was helpful to me, especially early on in pregnancy. But then, later in the pregnancy, I had researched everything. So it wasn't as necessary anymore for me, but definitely in the beginning. And it also was exciting because that app showed me like what the baby looks like right now and, stuff like that. And then for my pregnancy too, I had like some not complications, but they were worried about complications because she had a 2-vessel umbilical cord instead of 3, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't even know how many vessels were supposed to be on there. So that was just something that I learned along the way. And, they were monitoring and it was craziness. So don't stress out. That's the main thing. Do your research. Don't think you know everything. Don't stress out because that's the most important thing for, your health and your sanity and also for the baby. You don't want to be stressed out at all.
And if you don't know how to change a diaper, you can YouTube that too.
Oh, check that out on YouTube. You better practice. Actually, Brenda, that's actually a really good point because I know for me, my hospital had those mommy classes, the parenting classes. Actually, not just for mommies and daddies, the parenting classes that you could go to and you practice all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Now with COVID, I think everything is like virtual. So you may actually need to get a baby and practice at home because you won't have that baby that they would pass around in class and you would practice. So it's actually a very good point.
Take one of your nieces, Barbie dolls.
Yeah, start babysitting now. That's so funny.
Can you speak to the importance of giving yourself grace, not only as a mom, but like as an individual when you start feeling those nerves and pressures of being a first-time mom?
Yeah, so I think honestly, people don't give first-time moms enough credit. And I think as a first-time mom, you have to make sure you give yourself that credit because, and I don't think it's done in like a mean or spiteful way, but I do think that people don't realize that, just because you're a first-time mom, that doesn't mean that you don't know anything, especially for me, because like I said, I was researching things day and night. I was watching things, I was researching things, I was talking to my doctor, I was talking to the specialist. And so I feel like I was covered, There were still some things that obviously you learn with experience. And, once you have a baby, there are just things that, can't be taught, can't be researched or, whatever. But I do think that people need to learn to like give the mom her space and let her do what, she needs to do. And luckily for me, my family and, my friends and everyone, they had so much faith in me. Everyone's like, oh, you're gonna be a great mom, and whatever. So no one was really like overbearing. And I think that that's what the issue is with a lot of first-time moms, is they feel like people are overstepping, like acting as if they don't know what to do with their baby. And I mean, granted, sometimes, things get, a little crazy, or, you may get flustered for whatever reason. And I guess it depends on your personality as well, too. I'm not a person that gets flustered, very easily. I know even when I've been at trial, I've had my deputy and other people, other attorneys and judges are like, why are you so calm? And I'm like, because why would I be flustered? Like, that's only going to mess me up. And so I'm not the kind of person that gets like that. But if you are, and if you see a first-time mom that is, don't jump in too much, like follow their lead, because you don't want to offend them, and you don't want to discourage them, because I've seen plenty of first-time moms where, it's their first child and they're in a tough spot, and you can tell they're struggling with the baby, and then their mom will come in, like the grandma will come in and say, oh, give me the baby. And you can see that the mom is like, kind of hurt and offended. So it's like, you never want to do that. So my advice, first time moms, stand your ground. You know what you're doing. If you need help, ask for help. But if you don't, let it be known that you don't have to take, this help, and you don't have to take, some people will offer advice, which sounds like criticism. You don't have to take that either, and let it be known. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't ask for that. I know what I'm doing. Thanks. Just like that. Because I've had to do it. Thanks.
I see that attitude in you.
Mm-hmm. You can tell me about my baby. Thanks.
Exactly. As much as you enjoy, being a mom and, serving others, what are some things that you do for your own personal self-care and enjoy outside of being a mom? And how important is it to maintain your identity outside of being a parent?
Honestly, I think when I have like my me time, I am just doing like self-care stuff and like grooming. Like I'll go get my hair done. I haven't gone back yet to get my nails done, but that wasn't something that I was doing before pregnancy anyway. I would only go a few times a year, which I guess people are like, as a girl, like, what? But yeah, I wouldn't do that too often anyway. I'm really like a homebody. Like I like to relax and chill and, watch movies and whatever. So this whole COVID situation, and then this, during maternity leave and me being at home, this was perfect for me. Like I didn't have any issues with that at all. And so really I just relax. That's what I do for my, for myself and my sanity and whatever. I just honestly just relax. I do try to make sure I'm doing my stretches and, working out occasionally. I've been slipping for like a long time now, maybe like almost 2 months now since I worked out. But I used to be really on top of it, and I used to work out. I would try to do that as well when Layla was asleep, and now that she's up and she can get around on her own, I'll just put my mat down on the floor and she's crawling around, or she's in her walker and I'm just doing me. But yeah, I don't do anything like, crazy or anything that I like have to do. I'm honestly fine with just relaxing in the bed, watching something on Netflix.
Do them push-ups and sit-ups.
Listen, I got to get back to it. I was really slacking, but I have to get back to it.
That's a perfect segue into our next piece. This, that, and why. So, Brandon, I'm going to read off 2 choices. You tell us which one you prefer and why.
Okay.
So I'll start off. Coffee or tea?
Ooh, this is tough because I have some tea right next to me right now, but I don't know. This is tough. Okay, so listen, I love the Dunkin' Donuts mocha colada, which they call it the frozen coffee now, but it was originally advertised as the mocha colada. It's the frozen coffee. I love that, but I don't have that too often. So at home, I don't have coffee. I just have tea. But if I'm buying something, like if I'm out, I never buy tea. I would just buy the frozen coffee. So if I had to pick, though, I would pick the frozen coffee.
I got one. Favorite color, red or pink?
Oh, definitely pink.
And
You
why?
know, because pink and green reign supreme.
Oh,
For those who might not know,
That's right.
a prestigious
and see, I did that one on purpose. Yeah.
Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and
Mhm.
That's right.
Put
So,
that pinky up.
pink and green. See, I got on my green today, okay?
Put that pinky up. Mhm.
You see it?
now. Okay, let's try it. All right. Adult beverage or kid beverage?
Adult beverage. Especially because I hadn't had adult beverages for so long that, yes, adult beverages all the way.
I was about to say, where the closest liquor store at?
Like 4 minutes up the street. Yes, but my family, they make sure we stay, stocked. And then we got a bar downstairs in the basement, so we're good over here. And I make the best drinks. So, yeah.
Hey.
Post-COVID, putting in our business.
Listen.
Hey, you might have some competition because Calvin will tell you I can make one too.
We'll have to see. We'll have to do we'll do a competition. And Calvin, you have to be the judge.
Hey, that's fine.
You down with that?
I'm cool with that. Candles or scented oils?
Oh. Honestly, that's funny that you asked that because I was thinking about that the other day. I used to do the essential oils all the time, and I would plug in. I had like the little little lamp thing. I actually have it on my dresser here, but I would plug that in, put the oil on top, and just. But recently, I've only been doing candles. But I think it's because people have gotten me like those huge like Yankee candles, and I'm like I have to use them. But I love them now. So I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I should get rid of the other thing and just keep buying candles, or if I should go back to the oils because I still have so much oil left. But I don't know. I think the candles, I think when you light them, I think the aroma, like the smells fill the room faster, maybe. I don't know. It's so that was so close. It's a toss up, but I think I have to go with the candle.
Okay. Takeout or dine in?
Takeout.
Okay. Movies at home or movies in the theater?
Oh man. I kind of want to say at home. I told you I like being at home. I like being home.
International travel or local travel?
International, definitely. If I'm gonna get out, I want to get out.
Got you. Action movie or comedy?
Comedy, definitely. I'm not that into action movies. I actually just started watching, not just started watching. I was watching Black Lightning on Netflix, and that's like more action, and I love it. And I was so surprised. I watched the first 3 seasons, and then I started watching it again as soon as it was done. I loved it so much. But I definitely am still more comedy than action.
Okay. Sneakers or sandals?
Sandals. Listen, this year when I was pregnant, my mom's coworker, he got 3 pairs of sneakers from somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, they're Puma, they're new. I didn't wear them. I got them, and something happened." He was like, "You know anybody who wears the size?" And my mom's like, "You want them?" And I'm like, "Well, I have a total of 0 sneakers, so I guess yeah." I used to be such a sneakerhead when I was in high school. And then I went to Lincoln, and I don't know what happened. I just didn't buy any more sneakers.
Well, you got to upgrade at some point, I suppose.
I know. I'm like, I'm slipping. I got to do better.
All right, I'm back, everybody.
Horror or romance?
Who?
Horror movies or romance movies?
I think horror movies. I've always liked horror movies.
Well, that concludes our segment with Miss Latoya Cottingham. Please let the audience know in which ways that you can be followed.
Sure thing. So you guys can follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. It's MommyTimeWithToy. And it's the same thing on Instagram, MommyTimeWithToy. Okay? And you'll see my picture. And so you'll know it's my page. Thank you guys so much for having me. I had such a good time.
You're welcome.
Obliging us and spending time with us this evening. I'm going to take it to my co-host to...
Of course. Thank you guys so much again.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. So, thank you, Latoya, for coming on today. Hopefully you enjoyed this special guest. We have another, these two, we ain't gonna tell you who it is, but these two, it's gonna be like the kings of comedy.
Right, you got to tune in next week for this one.
Yeah. We shouted them out on a previous show, but these two, two more Lincoln brothers of ours. So we all keep it in the family.
Exactly.
Now, before we go, I do want to say, once again, wear your mask because things are getting shut back down because people just don't want to listen. Starting to get cold out, it's flu season, it's everything. I know you want to hang out with your family and your friends and everything like that. You could still do it, but be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then just basically stay prayed up. Have a good week. And this concludes our show. This is your boy B and my boy Cal. And we're gonna let the Tribe Called Quest take us out.